Hi everyone, my name is Nora Crone. I'm a violist in New York City, co-founder of the TIL Project for String Players, and a musician's focal dystonia recovery advocate. In today's video, I'm going to share a bit about the importance of language in focal dystonia recovery, in particular, how it can help us identify the correct movements and encode them in our brains. Before we jump into that, very briefly, if you're new to this channel, you should probably check out some of my previous videos where I explain more about the process that helped me recover from dystonia. I'll leave some links down below, but in short, through learning a system of playing called the TIL approach with a violinist named Sophie Till, I gradually changed my brain through movement and my symptoms slowly disappeared. After 2 years of regular lessons, I returned to professional playing, and now I have the privilege of assisting others, primarily violists and violinists, in their recovery. Alright, so anyone who experiences the TIL approach firsthand, either through videos, workshops, or one-on-one lessons, will quickly realize that there is some jargon. Falling up, resting down, walking hand and arm, rotation, and so on. And I'll be honest, after I recovered from dystonia, I was, at first, a little resistant to using this language in my work. Not because I thought it was incorrect in any way, but because I was more interested in making sure that I could use my own perceptions and language to describe concepts that at that point I knew I could reliably find in my own body. The words I was using helped me locate the markers within my subjective experience that kept my brain and body on track, and that felt meaningful to me. However, the point of the TIL approach jargon, which anyone familiar with the Taubman approach for piano will immediately recognize, is that it's meant to be as objective as possible. Terms like forearm rotation, the three-part holding mechanism, or moving over the fulcrum of the feet are meant to describe in the most neutral, concise, and universal way possible what it is that we're asking the brain and body to do. Think about the experience that we call picking up a cup. Here's something that you probably never had a single lesson in doing, but that you nonetheless do quite well, nearly without error. I could wake you up in the middle of the night and ask you to do it. You could do it with 1 million people watching, and if you did it 100 times in a row, it would probably be pretty much the same experience each time. And interestingly, we all do it pretty much the same way. That's the kind of solidity, specificity, and universality we're aiming for in our motor learning. And the language we use to describe it matters because picking up a cup is not the same as squeezing a cup, emptying a cup, or dangling a cup. Now, that example is pretty obvious, but when it comes to musicians' focal dystonia recovery, the differences among the infinite number of experiences we can have with the body are not always so apparent, at least not without help. In getting my left arm to the instrument, for example, I can fall up and then rest down with resilience, which is what we want, or I can hold myself up or hang off the instrument, which are a few different versions of what we don't want. In getting to the point of sound, the depth of string required to create a clear pitch, I can engage an aligned and resilient finger, hand, and forearm unit to the left, that's what we're going for, or I can squeeze the hand closed, thrust the fingers, or curl them, all different versions of wrong. So when someone comes to a lesson and learns any of these concepts, let's say forearm rotation, our work together is to establish very clearly what that concept is and what it is not in as much detail as is needed for that person. Giving that concept a name, forearm rotation, means that when the person goes off to practice on their own, they can say, "What am I practicing this week? Oh, right, forearm rotation. What's that again? Oh, right, it's this, not this, or this." That specificity of language gives both the brain and body a concrete target to aim at, and it helps us encode the right physical and neurological experience. Without it, we run the risk of getting lost in our subjective experience and losing track of the established path out of the woods. So that's it for today. If this information was helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone you think could benefit. If you want to know more about dystonia recovery, you can subscribe to my channel, and if you want to know more about healthy string playing in general, you can also subscribe to the TIL Project. I'm Nora Crone, and my website is www.noracrone.com. Thanks everybody. See you next time.